Hello everyone, Solomon here, and I'm recording on this high level grade movie setting with my Sony ZV-1. It's Sunday the 7th, and I used up all my off time, so let's look at the little calendar we have. So on any given day, when I wake up in the morning, I feel like a bum. I feel like shit. That is just the dirty truth about waking up in the morning. And being a young man or whatever, even at the age of 38, I'm always like, how do I level up? How do I make more money? It's always the same theme. When I was a kid, it was always waking up playing a video game, maybe Mega Man X. Now they have Mega Man X on Steam, the whole collection. There's like nine different like Mega Man X's or something. It's like up to Mega Man 16. And I'm just like, I stopped playing up to Mega Man 3. I stopped playing at finished Mega Man X because I just stopped. I don't know what is beyond Mega Man X, the first one. And they just kept going. They're just plowing through, like, resiliency. Like, you're not supposed to fucking stop. Like, there is a continuation of you just working 1 year or 2 years. You just keep fucking going. Like I said, there's up to Mega Man 16. Like, these Japanese, game designers and programmers, they don't fucking stop. Your life just doesn't fucking stop. That's why you have to be so careful when you're around other people. If you get stabbed or if a car hits you or whatever, and you have a broken whatever, you have to still live your life. It's not easy for people to just randomly die just because they want to die. I mean, it's life is suffering, so you have to take extra care of yourself. And people are always very panicky, very emotional, very charged, very uptight and high strung. There's no like chilling. There's no room for error. It's just anything you say or do is looked under a microscope. People react to it. I'm kind of dumb, so I forgive people for their mistakes because I don't understand what it's like to forget or just be off by 1 or 2 numbers. But some people are autistic in their information, and like they know exactly the freezing point is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. Very specific times of days, days in the calendar. Engineers, real engineers are like this. Physicians, they just can't mess with lay people because they're specialists with numbers. Everything is exact with them. And if you're not that kind of breed and you're just this like generalist, kind of like me, then you're fucked. I found my way making money through the medical field, and I was, of course, most people, struggling with A's and B's and sometimes even C's to pass classes because I didn't have 100% esoteric, knowledge like an engineer does. And even engineer students, like a passing grade would be like a 65. So what I'm saying, like, there's just a breed of people who are always gonna be up your ass simply because they're sticklers. They're gatekeepers in the world, and that's not me. I'm not one of them. I'm just this dude in the Matrix trying to get by. I don't really give a shit if things are right or wrong. That's not my job. I just don't give a fuck. I don't have the capacity to. If the work is good enough, so be it, I've seen super strict people. They're not fun to hang out with. They probably make more money than everyone else, but when it comes down to it, it's just like, I'm not autistic enough to be like you. I'm sorry. But anyways, I wake up in the morning feeling like shit. So I got the karma wheel, and yesterday was the 6th, so let's check off our things. Let's check off our things. Did I go to work that day? No. Did I go to work that day? Absolutely not, because it was my day off. Exercise, we went to the gym, practice nutrition. Nutrition is simply for me, is oatmeal, nuts, staying away from sugary drinks, sodas, candy, staying away from high, caloric foods, foods with high cholesterol, contribute to high cholesterol, high LDL cholesterol. So what contributes to the good cholesterol? You have fish, salmon, basically the expensive fish out there. And it's not cheap. You need money for food. And also culture plays a part in it. If your parents just are black and they like Popeye's fried chicken and McDonald's, you're kind of fucked. I've seen that at the hospital. You're just kind of fucked. And so where else would you be eating? I mean, if you could go to the McDonald's these days, you can probably go get a $5 or $6 chicken at Costco or ShopRite. Of course, it's not gonna have all this fried shit on it, and it will just be baked, and you will have to eat it, and then you just toss a bag of salad on it, and nuts and stuff, and you'll be like, oh man, this shit tastes like cardboard, and it does. I'm not gonna lie to you. Then you have olive oil or like red vinegar or something like Italian, and that's all you're allowed to have, and that's how they do it. You're not allowed to have ranch or French salad dressing and Caesar salad and shit like that. No dressing, absolutely not. The only dressing that will exist. Oh, and then there's that Greek yogurt dressing. Other than that, everything else is really bad for you. Sugar and more sugars and salts and stuff like that. So let's go down the list. I mean, it's not that hard. If you were in that kind of environment where you were piss poor and you have to eat fried chicken, collard greens, cornbread, no, but seriously, you would just drink a lot of water and just eat everything just baked. Just take the skin off the chicken or whatever meat. But again, it's with culture, and sometimes you can't. It's unavoidable because it's so ingrained in the culture. People only like things with hot sauce or Jamaican, or like curry or whatever, or soy sauce, or all these like MSG, like salty things. And like, I get it. It's just sometimes it's unavoidable. In which case you're just fucked. So you'll have high cholesterol and shit, plaque buildup, calcium buildup, and that will clog up your arteries and your heart attack, pulmonary embolism, stuff like that, or diabetes if you have too much sugar. And that just comes with age. It just gets worse when you get old. So yeah, money is only good when you're young, and you can go out and have fun, but at the same time your parents and society is yelling at you, to be at home and go to school and study and be a doctor and lawyer, which everyone's interest just conflicts with each other, and one party is overbearing over the other, and it's just like a shitstorm. No one has any money. No one still continues, despite the rage against the machine. Still, it seems that no one ever has money. People have money. It's just that people are annoying as fuck. You have all these different personalities. Your mom's like this overbearing, like, person that can't stop, yelling at you to do things because she cares too much about you. Your dad probably, if he's not like some kind of police sergeant or whatever, the military guy, then he probably doesn't give two fucks and probably found another woman, and he doesn't care about what you do because he knows that you wouldn't listen, or you have no respect for yourself or him. And it's just like, this is another shit show. So get this book. Be accountable for your own actions, your own habits, your own degeneracy. And the next degenerate behavior we have is journaling. Did I journal? Yes, I recorded the things I was doing, what times and stuff like that. Vlogging. I did vlog just like I am vlogging now. Did I post it on YouTube? And I have a little section, new ones on YouTube, and I did. And it's working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there were 6 days, and I uploaded on YouTube for 5 of the 6 days, which is pretty fucking good. So this thing, as you can see, works. Because now I'm accountable. And reading. Reading is probably the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. Reading as an adult. As a child, reading was thrown at us. We were forced to read, or we would look like shit amongst our peers because of middle school and high school, whatever. So I did read for an hour, and I read my X-ray book that I need to update my ARRT X-ray license, and sleeping. And I slept well, so check off there. So just to review and be accountable, we just check off the day for Saturday. And since nothing really notable happened, I left it blank. Maybe I'll write dim sum on it. Dim sum. Maybe I just write dim sum on it because I did dim sum. That's all I did. And other things I do regularly, like going to the gym. Some things I don't need. Some things have been done so goddamn much that I really don't need to emphasize it as much anymore. Like exercise, I go to the gym as much as I can. But when I feel like I'm losing it, then I have to write it down. And yesterday I met a young person, my neighbor. I've known him since he was a little kid, growing up in this area in New Jersey, and he's basically been Generation Z, and he's going through the same shit I went through. So he's good at math. He's not super good at math. Super good, You can't just be okay at math. You have to be fucking super good. You have to be super confident and super asshole and gatekeeper in mathematics to survive, to be an engineer, to be a physicist, to work in the in the field of anything, in the industry, Lockheed Martin, GE, things like that, Boeing, in the industrial complex, as an engineer, contractor, anything, Indian engineer, Chinese, you have to be super fucking good. He just didn't feel like he was well off enough, so he did business and marketing. So if I was doing that, I would feel kind of fucked, because you're trying to be a creator for industry, which is hard as fuck because your marketing skills, your Adobe Photoshop skills need to be pristine, and they have to actually captivate an audience and attract customers for an industry, for a motherfucking S&P 500 company like Siemens. So you're talking about like South Korean. Well, he is South Korean. So you're talking about like big wigs here. Like, it's not a joke level of work. You can't just paint some like crayons and shit and expect to get paid and stuff. Like these are some like standards. is there like standards, like big companies. You can't just scam people and just leave. I mean, like, what the fuck? So these people have very high standards. So whatever he's trying to get into has very high standards, and you can't just do piss poor work. Being 23, you need to be like 40, have at least 10 years experience in somewhere. So, you're not just working with numbers. Numbers are just numbers. No, you're doing with human creativity. Now they have AI doing that stuff too. So, yeah, good luck with that. Unless you are an outlier and you have some kind of talent, no one's gonna really like turn an eye for you in your portfolio. So whatever. He can go do his own thing, because I don't have his talents or his knowledge and whatever, his internship or whatever. I already know it's too fucking hard out there to be your own creator and your own entrepreneur. Some guys can do it. I'm not saying you can't. It's just you need to be very outgoing. You need to be the whole package. You need to be able to draw a circle without the use of a computer. I mean, these fundamental things, you have to be a fucking... the industry expects you to be a fucking computer. And if you're not these things, then you're kind of fucked. I mean, you're talking about real companies, not some scam doodle shit. Like, you need to prove yourself. So what else can you do? If you're not talented, if you're not a cold-hearted engineer, the medical field. I got away with being in the medical field, thankfully. I don't need to know all this high level of math. I don't need to know all this high level of medical terminology. I don't need to fucking deal with all these patients and stuff up front like a nurse. I'm in the radiology field. I just take pictures of body parts. They taught me taught me enough to get by in taking x-rays and CAT scans, and that's it. That's all I need to know. To make top dollar, to make 6 figures a year, Every dog has his lucky day. This is my field. This is my jam. If I didn't have it, I'd be struggling out there like a starving artist. They say that humans are great creators. Oh, we're different than the machines or other species because we can create things. Yeah, everyone can create a pile of shit through their own bowel movements, through their own fecal matters, fighting their families, killing each other, wars. But can you design something from scratch? Can you engineer something useful? Probably not. It's just too fucking hard. If you can, great. But at the same time, who are these guys that do these things? Probably some fat Indian guy. Unless you're this Brahmin, there's some fat Indian guy on a cell phone, you probably don't cut it. I don't even cut it. There's lawyer and doctor. It's a class of people that you're just fucking born into. You're just a gatekeeper. You're you just are. I've asked some very intelligent people, why is your dad so smart? Why is he a professor? Why is he a doctor? Why can't any of us have that level of confidence and intelligence and can recite books in biology and stuff? It's because he was born. That's what he told me. Son was a dumbass like me. He told me that his dad was just born. He was just born. He has photographic memory. He can recite books. Companies would just hire him. He looked he was this Cuban guy, Dominican Republic guy. he had the worst raspy voice, but he was smart as fuck, and he kind of resembled like some fat Indian guy. He was born into poverty, and he was the real deal. He was the real deal in human intelligence, like. And he wanted to be a doctor, and he wanted to help people more than he wanted money. And I learned a lot from him. It's not always about money. And he had all these kids and stuff, and he tried to do the right thing, get his kids in school, and that's how I met his son, which he did. And his son wasn't like 10 years old. I mean, this wasn't like a 10-year plan. I mean, his son was old, like approaching like 19 and 20s. So his own children are like 20-year projects. I mean, he's not like a jerk off either. It's not like, oh, I'm super smart, I'm just gonna get by, party and part. No, he does projects like 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Like damn, like long term. Like long term, like these guys are smart. Like these guys are intelligent, and they read a lot. And here you are, you're just watching porn and playing video games, and it's just like, the fuck, yo. They just don't make people like they used to. They just don't make people like they used to. And when they don't make people like they used to, you see it. They lack quality. They lack quality. We don't need any more shittier people. I mean, damn. There's a lot of shitty people out there. It's just luck of the draws. So, as someone who's making 6 figures, I have to preserve myself for the long term. Just because I'm worth something. I can help other people, other younger generations. I can help older generations. And if I'm not doing my part, shit, any guy can fall into this paradigm. I mean, any guy can fall into this paradigm. You lose your purpose, One homeless guy, he told me, the young guy I met at the gym, my neighbor, the young little kid, South Korean kid, said, met this homeless guy in New York. He found out that he was raging and calling everyone, asshole names, and he just talked to him, the homeless guy, and said that he had a normal job. He was a manager at like Walgreens, which I worked at one time, or Wegmans, or one of those. There are S&P 500 grocery stores and supermarkets and chains and whatever franchises. He worked for one of them, and then his wife divorced him. They had 2 kids, and they bounced to Florida and Texas or wherever. And then he became a homeless. His mental health deteriorated. That can happen to anyone, any man. And since the divorce, you have to pay child support, alimony support, all those kinds of weird shit they do in America. And you're just broken as a man, and you can no longer serve yourself or your community. The world has fallen apart. So I've always held my world together by just going to work, going to work, whatever it is, going to work. It wasn't. I mean, I wish my life was about, hey, all my life, Solomon Chau, starring Harry Shum. It's mostly about chasing girl. No, it's mostly about working. Sadly, I mean, That's what it is. If there's a girl, great, it's a bonus. But most of the time, she's not going to be able to take care of you in today's 2024 society, where the industries have manipulated and hijacked, every fundamental facet of life, like Amazon delivery, Amazon FBA, and now Amazon's probably killing off all these mom and pop stores. Amazon FBA's, drop shipping, Prime, Amazon Prime is probably killing off, Best Buy and all these other, like, Computer City that no longer exists, like Office Max. There's barely even Office Max. I guess that Staples is around because there's no other brick and mortar, like, office supply shop that people need because they have packages to ship, and they have Amazon returns. There you go. And they need printer stuff, and just to print out people's W-2 forms and whatever. That's always going to be around, and taxes and stuff. So Staples is probably going to be there, along with Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff, brick and mortar things like that. After the digital economy somehow crashes, like it always does at some point, but then it rebuilt itself again. And what else is there to go over? So after my 30 minutes or whatever, I'll fade into the darkness, or it's still morning time. And how do I be productive? How do I stay grounded? How do I not take life for granted? I'm at an awesome position at life right now. I have money, I have a job, I don't have a girlfriend, I don't have children. I don't know if that's a benefit or whatever, but I'm not like this white guy. I can't, like, just command things and, like, women will come for me. Like, I'm Chinese in America. Like, it's a lot harder. So anyways, being who I am, I just have to maintain what I have, and that's just to work and make money, which is what most people will probably do. There's nothing inspirational about this video. It's just like maintenance work as a human being. So is this the pinnacle of my life? Is this the creme de la creme? Yeah, I guess. Once you achieve these, this, you just have to keep going. Like I said about Mega Man 1, 2, 3, up to Mega Man 16, and you have the Mega Man X series 1 through I don't know how long. It just keeps fucking going. And the next thing I'm gonna do is just read this book, and I have my timer, and that's what I'm gonna do. Read, and using a timer and reading a book is what I'm gonna do, and put on some lo-fi beats, because that's it. And then maybe meditate for at least 5 minutes, because there's nothing else in the world that I deem as notable that really I need to work on. Like, I could just go to the mall, I can consume like an asshole, like I normally do. It's nothing new. I can go to the store and buy things, But where can I go to sharpen my mind? Where can I go to gain more experience points? And where can I go to get smarter, more intelligent, acquire more wisdom? Where can I go, So the mall really isn't my place, or even parties or anything. It's more of the library. Because I know that one day, shit will hit the ceiling fan and I would have to solve all these problems and whatever the fuck and get through life so that there can be a next generation series of Mega Man. What are some long-term goals? What are some short-term goals? I don't know. Talking to my young neighbor, he was like, I'm going to parties and parties and parties up in Brooklyn, and well, there's a choice. If you were gonna die, would you rather sacrifice your time for getting a better job with better pay, or would you just continue to party? When shit hits the ceiling fan, I would definitely spend my time trying to upgrade my job and my pay. So there's your answer. Shut up, read your book, and you don't need to know anymore about parties. Parties and parties. Everyone wants to go to the parties, but when you're faced with homelessness or these degeneracy, you just have to fucking work and escape. Partying is just like playing a video game. When it ends, you go home and you're like, shit. So, thank you for watching. Neither of which will give you instant gratification, but when shit hits the ceiling fan, make sure you got your timer and your book out and get ready to roll. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace out.